I'm Patrick Murphy. I was the 32nd Undersecretary of the Army. I'm a veteranpreneur. I teach at the Warren Business School, and I'm the co-founder of the Warrior Class Army-Navy Policy Conference.
You know, I think there is no better place to change the world than Maryland. Because I think Maryland is a place where we support our entrepreneurs, that we want to see them grow, we want to see them not just thrive, but we want to then see them turn into something, an idea, into something beautiful that's growing and is really out there changing the lives of people around them. And so I think for a lot of our veterans, making sure that you're in a place where that is a veteran supportive area, which I think the state of Maryland is, making sure that you're in a place that you know that your finances are going to be supported, where, you know, since I've been the governor, we gave younger veterans the largest tax cut in generations in the state of Maryland. Also with the financial support we're giving to our entrepreneurs, to making sure that they actually have the financial capital and the seed capital to be able to grow. And so I think that as a military veteran, a place that you know that you're surrounded by not just installations, but surrounded by communities that are going to help you, that are going to lift you up, that you are going to find your new tribe, I think is incredibly important.
American veterans are civic assets to this nation. So they're more likely to be employed, they're more likely to vote in elections, even though most of them are independents. They're more likely to start a small business and for that small business to be successful. So unfortunately though, after World War II, half the veterans started their own small business. My generation of post-9/11 veterans, Iraq, Afghanistan veterans, it's less than 5%. We gotta make sure that veterans understand that if they see it, they can be it. And that's why, as someone who's a veteranpreneur, who started several small businesses, who's invested in over 200 veteran-owned companies, we have to do a better job of letting veterans know the opportunities that are out there.
The fact that the American landscape of Main Street small business is going to change drastically in the next 10 years. And so what can you do to solve that? What you can do is you can find people that have the attributes to be able to lead, be able to take command, be able to then be committed to community, be able to be coachable, be able to be curious about opportunity, and people that are searching for that other purpose, the next purpose in life. And so it happens to be that veterans are a great solution to that.
I came on, we launched the Kickstarter campaign, raised $300,000, and then immediately jumped into production. Our first production was Killed I Laugh. Killed I Laugh is a sketch comedy series, had about 10 or 11 episodes, I want to say, where it was very much like Dave Chappelle, right? Dave Chappelle uses dark humor to bring light the pain and trauma that the Black community felt. That's what Killed I Laugh was. So we would always start every sketch from, what's a pain point, what's a trauma that we experience as veterans? And it might be something like knee-jerk reactions from officers, or it might be women in the infantry, sorry. It might be suicide, right? So it starts off with these like very, very big pain points. And it's like, okay, let's create a sketch around it where we can use humor to bring light, to shine a light onto that situation. Not to say that, not to ever talk down on that, but to, hey, this is why it's kind of ridiculous. And that's what comedy does, right? It allows you, right? The jester in the King's Court, it allows you to speak on, it allows you to tell the truth with, doing it in a nicer manner.
Well, the one thing I've found from the military is they have the best network, bar none. Ivy League, other colleges, they all have great networks. The military, I think they have the best. So I think they have to stay connected to their network because, how many Fortune 500 CEOs are former military, right? So as much as they joke about Army, Navy, and all that, they're happy to see each other when they're in boardrooms and everything. So I would stay connected to that network, broaden their scope. Don't get pigeonholed in one industry is what I would say, because with AI, the fast expansion of all that, you're going to be out of it. You could be out of a job quick, right? So you want to be broad in what you know in the finance world. You want to be a little more marketable for yourself, right? You just don't want to get pigeonholed in one asset class, is what I would say.